What's up, everybody? It's Clayton Jennings. Are tattoos a sin? You asked, and I'm going to answer. So some of you out there thinking right now, man, I want to get a tattoo and I have a really cool design. I just don't want to sin and feel the punishment of God for getting marks on my body. Clayton, what should I do? For whatever reason, that seems to be a popular discussion in Christian circles today, and non-Christian as well. Now, people that tell you, yes, tattoos are a sin, are normally people that are going to quote Leviticus to you. And they're going to quote the scripture that says, do not mark your body. And those people that are for getting a tattoo say, hey, that doesn't apply to me. So what's the answer? So let's just start in Leviticus. Leviticus is Old Testament law. Everything in Leviticus and all the rules and regulations that come with it were basically put there so that God could say, I can give you all these rules and regulations and give you a standard of righteousness, and you're still going to fall short. You see, the Old Testament law was put in place so that God could tell people, you aren't like me. You're not perfect. You're not holy. You don't measure up to my standard of righteousness. His standard of righteousness, perfection. So everything listed in Leviticus were rules for people at that time, in that era, and that place. One of the rules was, don't mark your body. The question is, does that apply to you today? The simple answer, yes, no. No, yes. You didn't expect that. Here's what I mean. Is it a sin for you to get a tattoo? No. Because what was written in Leviticus doesn't apply to you. Are you an Israelite living in Old Testament times? No. So it doesn't have anything to do with you right here, right now. And some of you will say, hey, hold on. It is a sin because it says it right there in Leviticus. But I have a question for you. Do you trim your beard? Do you cut the size of your hair? Do you mix fabrics in your clothing? Then you're violating Leviticus in the Old Testament law. So before you jump on people who get tattoos and people who say it's not a sin, make sure you're living perfect by the standard of the law, or else you'll be what we call a hypocrite. So if you do trim your beard, you do cut your hair, you do mix fabrics, we don't want to hear your opinion on tattoos because you're in violation of what you say should be applied today. But I also want to tell you this, getting a tattoo isn't a sin unless what you get tattooed is a sin. Pretty simple, right? I think it's sad that so many people get hung up on gray issues like tattoos when there's so much more serious stuff that we could be talking about. Like, for instance, people going to hell without a relationship with Jesus. You see, the whole law was put into place so that God could say, you're not perfect enough to work your way to me. Your good deeds aren't enough. Your self-righteousness isn't enough. Nothing that you could do will work your way into perfection. Why? Because you are flawed people. The good thing is, we don't have to live by that anymore. Why? Because Jesus came and took our place. Jesus said, I'll be the one that appeases the wrath of God. I'll be the one that lives in perfection, that conquers the law. And that's what Jesus came to do. He came to set us free. You see, Jesus lived a perfect life because you and I couldn't do it. The law is there basically to say, you aren't perfect. Jesus came to say, I am perfect, and through me, you can one day enter into heaven. Why? Because I love you. I went through a cross for you. I conquered death for you. And through my sin, and through my sacrifice, I have appeased the holy God. And one day you can walk into heaven, not as a perfect person, but as a forgiven person. My challenge to you is this. Let's stop getting hung up on the gray areas, because the rest of the world looks at the Christian community and laughs because they see us bickering and arguing about silly things. Instead, let's love people, reach people, and tell them about Jesus. That's the answer to this week's question. I'm going to be doing one of these every single week here on out. So if you have questions about life, about Jesus, about scripture, about anything, write it below, and I'm going to pick a question each week to answer, and you're going to hear from me. So you asked, and I answered. Take care. If you like the hoodie I'm wearing and you want to get one that says Jesus, Jesus, Jesus till the day I die, then click this picture that's about to pop up on your screen in 3, 2, 1.